You board a modern commercial airliner, admiring the glowing cockpit displays and high-tech cabin lighting systems. You assume the aircraft, soaring 35,000 feet above the clouds, is guided entirely by cutting-edge digital infrastructure. But behind the sleek composite panels and advanced composite wings lies a shocking, deeply buried technological secret. Right now, massive aircraft carrying hundreds of passengers still rely on computing hardware straight from the 1980s. Every 28 days, a specialized maintenance technician climbs into the cockpit of a multi-million-dollar Boeing 747. They do not plug in a high-speed fiber-optic cable, and they do not synchronize data via an encrypted wireless network cloud. Instead, they reach into their pocket and pull out a stack of physical 3.5-inch plastic floppy disks. They insert these vintage storage units into a mechanical drive to manually upload the plane's critical global navigation database. If you find this fascinating exploration of the hidden history keeping our skies safe valuable, subscribe to Visual Link. To the average consumer, using 1980s magnetic storage media to run a modern passenger jet sounds completely terrifying. We live in an era where smartphones are replaced every 2 years because their internal processors become completely obsolete. Yet, the commercial aviation sector routinely operates hardware that predates the creation of the public worldwide internet. To understand why this bizarre tech paradox exists, we have to look at the unique architecture of aviation legacy systems. An airplane is not built like a consumer electronics product. It is a monument to extreme redundancy and mechanical permanence. When an aerospace engineering firm designs a commercial airliner, the development cycle takes over a decade of continuous work. Every single line of code, circuit board layout, and internal wiring harness must undergo years of rigorous safety testing. The certification process, conducted by federal agencies like the Federal Aviation Administration, is incredibly strict and unforgiving. Once a specific computing architecture is proven to be completely stable and safe, it is legally locked into place permanently. Changing even a single processor chip or updating an operating system requires a multi-million-dollar recertification process. For a major airline, the financial cost of upgrading a fleet's legacy hardware far outweighs any convenience a modern drive provides. As a result, avionics systems that were certified in 1988 continue to fly exactly as they were designed today. The primary system relying on this vintage technology is the Critical Flight Management Computer, known simply as the FMC. The FMC acts as the central brain of the aircraft, calculating flight paths, fuel efficiency, and exact navigation waypoints. Because the Earth's magnetic fields shift and regional airspace boundaries change, this navigation database must be updated constantly. The global aviation industry operates on a strict, universal 28-day update cycle managed by international regulatory agreements. On older variants of the Boeing 747 and 737, this database file is remarkably small by modern standards. The entire global map of waypoints, radio frequencies, and runway layouts fits entirely within a few megabytes of data. A technician must carefully swap up to 8 individual floppy disks in a specific sequence to complete a single update. If a single disk suffers a mechanical failure or a magnetic scratch, the entire loading process must be restarted from scratch. If you're stunned by the hidden, vintage infrastructure operating right beneath our eyes, please subscribe to Visual Link. But while relying on floppy disks sounds incredibly primitive, this legacy architecture possesses a massive, highly accidental advantage. In our hyper-connected modern world, global critical infrastructure is under constant, relentless threat from highly sophisticated cyber attacks. Modern aircraft that utilize wireless data links and internet-connected maintenance terminals are theoretically vulnerable to remote malware injection. An ancient flight management computer built in the 1980s is completely isolated from the modern public internet. It possesses no wireless antennas, no modern network protocols, and absolutely zero compatibility with contemporary hacking tools. You cannot remotely exploit or inject malicious code into a system that physically requires a mechanical floppy disk swap. The extreme simplicity of hardware makes it remarkably resilient against the digital threats plaguing modern corporate enterprises. Furthermore, these legacy systems have a proven operational track record spanning billions of hours of safe commercial flight. Airlines know with absolute statistical certainty exactly how these computers behave in every imaginable atmospheric crisis. Replacing a completely flawless, hyper-reliable piece of vintage hardware just for the sake of modernization is bad engineering. However, the aviation industry is rapidly approaching a critical breaking point regarding the physical supply of this technology. The global manufacturing of 3.5-inch floppy disks has completely ceased, leaving airlines scrambling to find remaining inventory. A massive underground secondary market has emerged, where companies buy up vintage warehouse stock to keep planes flying. Some airlines are finally installing specialized hardware emulators that mimic the mechanical behavior of a classic floppy drive. These emulators allow technicians to use a modern USB drive, but the airplane's internal computer still thinks it is reading a disk. The lines of code written 40 years ago continue to dictate the movements of global commerce across our skies daily. This reliance on legacy technology underscores a fundamental truth about engineering. Newer is not always inherently better or safer. In high-stakes environments where human lives are on the line, proven reliability will always triumph over cutting-edge novelty. As the aviation sector slowly transitions to next-generation jets, the era of the mechanical cockpit will completely vanish. But for now, the safety of your next holiday flight might just depend on a piece of plastic from the 1980s. The hidden history of technology proves that the past is never truly gone. It is simply flying high above our heads. Do you believe airlines should be legally forced to upgrade these vintage systems regardless of the massive financial costs involved? Let us know in the comments below if you would feel completely comfortable flying on a plane run by floppy disks. Stay informed, stay curious, and make sure to subscribe to the channel for more breaking technology and aviation tech updates. Your continuous support helps us bring you these deeply researched documentaries uncovering the hidden forces shaping our modern world. We will see you in our next deep dive as we continue to expose the fascinating subcultures operating across the web. Always remember to stay hypervigilant in the digital spaces you inhabit, because old code runs much deeper than you think. From magnetic storage media to the advanced fly-by-wire systems of tomorrow, technology is constantly rewriting human mobility. We look forward to exploring the next fascinating technological frontier with you, analyzing the innovations and hidden dangers of tomorrow. If you want to support more independent technology, hidden history, and aviation documentaries, please hit that like button right now. Don't forget to subscribe to Visual Link and turn on notifications so you never miss an unmasking of the digital underworld. Have an incredible day ahead, protect your digital accounts closely, and goodbye until our very next broadcast from the frontier. Share your detailed thoughts in the comment section down below and join the global discussion on legacy system infrastructure safety. As global transportation networks evolve into fully autonomous frameworks, auditing the historic origins of critical hardware is absolutely paramount. The aerospace landscape is shifting rapidly, and it is up to conscious travelers to understand the systems guiding them home. Until regulatory bodies find a way to streamline certification without compromising passenger safety, legacy code will rule the skies. Keep tracking the history of engineering, audit your trust in modern software, and help us shine a light on tech.